What it do, what the business is. You dig? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel at Tay Luciano Media. You know what I'm saying? That's Tay Luciano Media. Like, share. Definitely subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. The reason why I'm making this video, because shout out to 4Extras. You know what I'm saying? He just came home. You know, definitely shout out to him. You know, it's been so much going on. Even in the small little time he was in there, he said he did a month and a week. So that's like 5 weeks. A month and a week, yeah. So it's like 5 weeks. So good shit that he's home. You know what I mean? But my whole thing is like, these niggas gotta stay off these podcasts, bro. You know what I'm saying? These dudes gotta stay away from just wanting to tell all the business and just wanting to talk about certain things on camera. Now, 4Extras just got out. I'm quite sure he's well aware of what took place with the whole situation with Big U and Brick Baby and Loose Cannon and all that. You know, almost rolling a no jumper indictment, if you ask me, / rolling 60s. But so he's well aware. But I would be damn, me personally, to keep going back to no jumper or on no jumper. You know, especially with all the things and all the stuff that's been going on as of lately. You know what I mean? I think it's just give them, a lot of the ones that's you know active, a bad look, especially when they keep going to Adam22 platform, which is no jumper. I think, you know what I mean, somebody like 4Extras, you know what I mean, he already got the clout, the reputation. A lot of people know who he is, especially out there. You know what I mean? Just build up your own YouTube. You don't need Adam for shit. Honestly, it's just like when he put out the video. That video came out on no jumper platform. You know what I'm saying? So technically, he owns that video, right? You know what I'm saying? When he put that off the back video, he could have put that out on his platform and been building his up. You know what I mean? We have seen time and time again that Adam has made a lot of money off of black people. You know what I mean? And really, I'm really not even mad at him, because if you crazy enough or stupid enough to go on a platform, or anybody platform for that matter, you know what I'm saying, especially his, but anybody platform for that, and get on there and start talking about, you know what I'm saying, stuff that could get you locked up, open cases, even if it's old situations, I still wouldn't want to go on a platform or anybody platform, especially his though, and talk about certain things. I'm just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to keep being a part of a situation where I know it could possibly go bad for me, you know? Because even with the whole Brick Baby, Big U, Loose Cannon situation, a lot of the information, like I said one time and time again, a lot of the information they got came from them doing podcasts and them being on No Jumper and talking about certain things that they should be quiet about. You know what I'm saying? How is you a gangster or you a gang member, even if you not active no more, going on there talking about certain things? You got guys that used to be in the streets, they used to do a lot of stuff that has totally changed their life around, gave their life to God, or got back in the church, or used to grow up in the church and went back and totally done did their whole life a 360 and still won't talk about certain things. So and still won't do it. And they could possibly be from that, been so far from that life 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. Like, man, I've been far from that 20 years, not 30 years, 25 years, and still might not talk about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Let alone get on the front of cameras and on a platform and be talking about certain things, right? Especially stuff that could come back on you, or stuff that you done did time for. Just like, yo, I don't even want to go down that road no more. You know, but that's why I always say shout out to X4, because he was, and I'm going to keep saying this, he was one of the dudes that went on No Jumper, that when Adam got to asking him certain things, he wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't say anything. No comment on nothing. You know what I mean? So he's like the only one I could look at and point out to and say, well, he was the only one. But, you know, in the big mainstream world, it's like, who is X4? Who is this guy? You know, if you go to any other state or any other region, they're not gonna know who he is, because he's not a big artist like that. It's not like he was, you know, The Game, and you know, everybody know who Game is, or YG, or somebody like that, or Nipsey, Long Live Nipsey, or something like that. You know, then there's like the three outside of Snoop and several others that from LA you could be like, okay, you know what I mean, but dudes that keep just constantly putting themselves in the trick bag is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with 4Extra. I think he, you know what I mean? I think all around, pound for pound, he's a down to earth dude. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? You can also see that he's been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if he think things out all the way through, or just don't care. Some people just like, it is what it is. But me personally, I couldn't rock with Adam. Just how he exploits certain things, and and water. Just how he exploits certain things and certain people. You know what I'm saying? Just how he do certain things. You get me? It's just crazy to me. I couldn't be somebody like 4Extras. Not saying like is anything wrong with him, or he's just, oh my God, he's crazy. But to keep going back to No Jumper, it's like, bro, you don't even need Adam. He really has enough reputation, enough clout, enough status at this point in time right now. He's very animated, so a lot of people like that energy and everything. He could be building his shit up. He probably would be able to build his platform up faster than Brick Baby, because he come with a whole lot of energy. Brick Baby is more of a laid back dude, more like myself. You know what I'm saying? Me and Brick almost share like the same birthday. You know, our birthdays around the same time. He's a December baby. I'm a December baby as well, right? But so, you know, I most Capricorns that you know what I mean. I'm not into the whole astrology. We just naturally, or the ones I have came across, is like just naturally laid back, cool people. It take a lot for us to get mad and just fly off the handle. At least for myself, you know what I'm saying. But he probably would be able to build up his YouTube way faster than Brick. You know what I'm saying? So for him to keep having to go up to No Jumper, he don't even need No Jumper at this point. You know what I'm saying? He probably really never needed No Jumper. But just to get the, you know, the clicks and views and get people to talk, you know what I'm saying? You're on a huge platform. You know what I'm saying? Coming from a rappable hood, all that. So I get it. But you know, he don't need Adam22. Fuck Adam and No Jumper. That's just how I feel about Adam. And so, you know what I'm saying? He started out good. Adam22 really putting, you know, really doing hip hop and talking about the music, brought a lot of up and coming artists to the platform. But somewhere along the line, somewhere down the line, it changed, it shifts. And I feel like that came about when AD and Terrell and all them dudes was up there. You know what I'm saying? Because they had real ties. Remember, Adam doesn't come from this life. So, you know what I mean? Adam doesn't come from the hip hop background, a gang background. You know what I'm saying? He's from New Hampshire. Not saying you can't be tough in New Hampshire, but you feel me? Like, and then he came from BMX, riding bikes, you know, skateboarding, stuff like that. So he don't come from that. You know what I mean? He doesn't come from that. And I don't, you know what I mean? I used to like what he used to do. I used to be really a No Jumper fan. You know what I'm saying? I really did. I'll never forget my nephew. I have a nephew that put me on No Jumper. This was back in 2000 and I want to say maybe like 2016, 17. So I was up on No Jumper early. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about it because it ain't shit to talk about, but I was on No Jumper early through my nephew. Had put me on No Jumper. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even call me up, but yo, it's, you know, and he know how much I'm into music and all that stuff. You know, music is really, anybody that know me personally is really like my first love. I really should have did something in music. I still can, as far as A&R or producing or something like that. I would have been excellent in that because I could just see when somebody got it or the talent. Instantly, that is, it's crazy, right? But anyway, he put me on to No Jumper, and you know, them first couple of years was cool. You know what I mean? But somewhere along the line, it got a little rocky. You know what I mean? It got a little rocky, and that was even before. AD and Terrell got on there. And I can remember my nephew had stopped watching No Jumper before I even stopped. He stopped watching No Jumper. He was like, yo, I do on some culture shit and, you know, or whatever. And my nephew seen that early on. I don't know what it was. He never really said, oh, it was this particular episode and he was, or somebody came on there and he was acting like this or saying this. He was like, dog, he's on some culture shit. You know, and left it at that. Fast forward, he links up with Dame, Adam22. Him and Dame Dash. Shout out to Dame Dash. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dame. They were supposed to do a podcast together, or they were supposed to do, basically, now that I think about it, y'all see how he has the Adam and Wax show. They do they show, I think, like, they film it every Thursday, and then it comes out on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? So the thing what he do with Adam, I believe he was trying to do that same type of concept, that same type of thing with Dame Dash. Early on, way before Wack, way before AD and Terrell and all them dudes and Duno and all them. And Dame even seen it like, dog, you on some culture shit. And I remember they was somewhere shooting live. I mean, going live in real time. They wasn't even in the office like at No Jumper. They was somewhere. Looked like they was at some venue or something was going on. And he basically was calling them out. I'll never forget it. As they were sitting like on this big couch or like whatever they were sitting on, like a big couch or something like that, you know. And Dane was sitting on like not one end, but they was kind of like sitting across from each other. And I think they had a few people like in the audience, you know what I'm saying? Because they was like at a venue or somewhere. I'll never forget it. They was at like some venue, and he was just calling them out like, bro, you be trolling, you're a culture vulture in our culture, blah 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 blah. You know, dang, let niggas have it at 80 given time. He don't really be giving a fuck. You know, he might be a little bit different now, but he was just calling them a culture vulture. And I was like, You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking about, at this point in time, what my nephew said. Dang, he be on some culture vulture shit. Da, da, da. And then I'm looking at him and Dame trying to do business, and Dame seeing it through, look like he's seeing through the bullshit and calling them out. So, you know, and that was early on, kind of, sort of. I'm not even sure if House Phone was around. He probably was, or on his way to be, when this was all going. But this was definitely Wack was nowhere in the picture. AD and Terrell was nowhere in the picture. None of that. So for the longest, he's been a culture vulture. And anybody that comes into in the culture and just exploit it and make money off our pain or our sorrow or whatever, I ain't got no love for him. But I can't totally blame him fully. You can't. How can you? Because it's not like he's forcing or making anybody come up to No Jumper. Dudes at a point in time, and even to this day, wanted to be on No Jumper. I used to hear people talk about it. So, but those was in the times and the moments where No Jumper was different. But I can never, fully put it on him, because if you're willing to talk about these things, I'm not going to stop you. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if somebody was telling you, I don't know, some personal business or anything, it's like, I'm going to listen. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you got to be out your fucking mind to be wanting to tell him, somebody like Adam22, any past situations, what you've done in the streets, any fights, any robbery, to any of that shit, because I wouldn't want to talk about that with nobody. But you know what I'm saying? Because the game is to be sold, not to be told. You feel what I'm saying? But to be going on his platform, fuck no. No, so when he was saying No Jumper's going broke and No Jumper is pretty much going to end, I damn near wanted to throw a party when I heard that. I damn near was like, for real, like I damn near was like, shit, going away all for all this over party. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, it's been so many people throughout history has came into the culture, and it's probably, ain't no probably, it's a lot of Adam22s that has infiltrated the culture and has done things to artists or said things or just anything or act a certain type of way in the industry. I'm highly, highly positive about that, and I'm not even in the industry. You know what I mean? You hear the stories, the label execs, the executives. You know what I'm saying? The only thing different is these guys didn't have a platform to where they could just be on camera or putting themselves on camera like that to be exploited. Meaning, like, it's a lot of them that's like that. You know what I mean? That you might not hear about. Some you might hear about. It's just because they're not in front of a camera and got a platform. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of dudes that has came in and you know what I mean? So to hear No Jumper will be no longer, it's almost like people hearing Big U getting arrested. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure it's people that's around that was happy to hear about that. You know what I mean? Or happy to see that. So for him to not be around, or for him very soon will be ending No Jumper, I love it. I'm sorry, and I'm not a hater. I always give people flowers and stuff like that. I've never been a hater, but for him, I love it. Fuck No Jumper, fuck Adam22, hands down. That's just how I feel. And that's not even with the people that has worked for him. That's just him and his company, straight up. Because they will be quick to say about you, you could be the smallest person in the room. And I'm not talking about in size or in stature or stuff like that. But meaning like whatever you're doing, you might not even be there yet. And they will do it. You know what I'm saying? They will quickly cash you out with no problem. You could be up in the coming up and let you do something, say something that they don't agree with. Y'all know how it go. You know what I'm saying? So it's really F him and no jumper. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was, even to hear that, I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I was happy about it. Like, hell yeah. In that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm liable to just throw a party, let that shit in tonight. Man, buying balloons, all type of shit, champagne. I'm gonna really have a feast in this bitch. For real, for no jumper, because it's just like, yo, I'm just not with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that, you know, was able to get this far in the industry, or should I say the culture, you know, without nothing happening to him. You know what I mean? But nothing never will. You know what I'm saying? They not about to do nothing to him. You know? But to see no jumper with soon Lee in, I love it. I can't even lie. But I feel like somebody like 4Extra, that got a lot of clout, a lot of status, don't need no jumper at all. You know what I'm saying? Homie, you don't need them. And shout out to you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 40s. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 40s. From the D to LA, straight up. But he don't need them. He don't need no jumper at all. Yeah, he don't need them. You know what I'm saying? He really don't. Yeah, he don't need no jumper whatsoever. He don't need them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel at Tay Luciano Media. That's Tay Luciano Media. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty good day outside. Got a couple of errands to run. Detroit Tigers opening day. You know what I mean? I might go down there and try to get some footage and go live, because that'll be great. You know what I'm saying? We got a game today. Tigers opening day, going against the White Sox. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chicago for sure. And make sure, like I said, once again, y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the little painting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I put that together. That's nothing though. But like I said, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be getting back at y'all again. Peace.